morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Sabha Tribe. The top stories first. Chinese Defense Minister's visit deemed successful. Highest level visit from the north after President's visit last year. Daily infection of coronavirus drops to 1,255. Active cases falls above 18,000. Flights to India set to reopen after cabinet decision. Civil Aviation Authority begins its preparation to follow air bubble protocol. Unrest in Nigeria upscales. At least 110 civilians killed in a dreadful mass murder. And London rivals Chelsea and Tottenham settle for a draw. Manchester United produces a dramatic win. And now the news in detail. Chinese State Councillor and Defence Minister Wei Fenghei's visit to Nepal has been termed successful by the government. The recent visit of top Chinese officials to Nepal will further strengthen the Sino-Nepal relations, experts have opined. Defence Minister Fenghei arrived for a one-day visit to Nepal yesterday morning. Minister Wei met President Vidya Devi Bhandari, Prime Minister Oli, Chief of Army Staff General Purna Chandra Thapa, including others during his stay. The visiting Chinese minister also received a Guard of Honor at a ceremony held at the Army headquarters in the afternoon. Minister Wei left for Bangladesh yesterday evening. This is the highest level visit from the northern neighbor after Chinese President Xi Jinping arrived at Nepal last year. The government will provide free medical treatment to those injured during People's Movement. The government will provide free medical treatment to those injured in the People's Movement, armed conflict and the movement in the Tarai Madhesh areas. Government spokesperson Parvat Gurung said that it has been decided to provide free treatment to the people injured in the protest at different times. Similarly, the Council of Ministers has also decided to accept assistance of 1.25 billion rupees from the government of Switzerland under the second phase of Nepal Agricultural Market Development Programme. The amount will be spent for Province 1. The government has also decided to deport Mauritius citizen Rahul Panchu, who is living in Nepal illegally, by waiving the delay fee of $6,160 and a fine of Rs 25,000. The government has approved the use of Mercedes-Benz cars donated by the Qatari government for government purposes. The government has also decided to postpone the election of the official trade union of civil servants. Provide Rs 1.5 million a grant to the District Coordination Committee Federation of Nepal for running the office, and a decision to give in principle approval to the draft concept paper of the bill prepared regarding the issue of a Unified Health Science Academy. The government yesterday confirmed 1,255 new cases of coronavirus across the country. Following the latest round of tests, the total cases of coronavirus in the country has climbed to 231,900, while the number of active cases has decreased to 17,909. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, altogether 1,212,590 infected persons have recovered from the disease in the country so far. The death toll from coronavirus has climbed to 1,479 across the country, with the confirmation of 25 new casualties yesterday. Nepal is currently among the top 37 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. The US is the most affected country with 13.6 million confirmed cases, followed by India with 9.3 million cases. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back. We continue with other national news. Nepal-India flight, which remained shut for about 8 months due to coronavirus pandemic, has reopened. As soon as the cabinet meeting decided to open the flights, Nepal and India are preparing to operate one flight each day in coordination with the Ministry of Tourism. Buddhisagar Lamachane, Joint Secretary at the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation, said that the Nepal Airlines was preparing to operate one flight a day and the Indian Airlines 2 flights a day. According to Lamachane, the letter from the Council of Ministers will be received by Monday and then an understanding will be reached with India. It has been more than 3 months since India started regular flights with 21 other countries and various countries in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. India had offered to start flights with Nepal at the same time. In that proposal, India had stipulated the concept of air bubbles, but Nepal did not accept the air bubbles agreement. The Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, CAN, has stated that it will be instructed to be ready for the flight operation after the decision of the ministry. Even though the government opened the Trivandrum International Airport on September 3rd, India and China have not yet opened unconditional regular international flights. Due to the lack of regular flights between the two countries, Nepalese are facing problems in reaching neighboring countries for treatment, study, trade and other purposes. In the meantime, domestic airliners competing with rival companies have introduced lucrative mountain flight schemes in an attempt to attract more passengers. Both Buddha and Yeti Airlines have announced a special discount on taking a tour of mountains with the respective companies. Both companies, Pioneer at Nepalese Sky, have launched a buy one get one free scheme on their mountain flight ticket. Buddha Air resumed its mountain flight service from October 29 last month. Buddha Air informed it will conduct a regular mountain flights starting next Saturday in its endeavour to boost Nepal's tourism sector stalled due to coronavirus pandemic. Similarly, Yeti Airlines will also be conducting mountain flights every Saturday starting December 5 next month to promote internal tourism. The company's statement mentions that tickets can be booked via nearest ticket counters and travel agencies or through the airline's website or mobile app. Passengers will be charged 8,999 rupees for flying with Yeti and 8,990 rupees for flying with Buddha Air. Both the companies have stated the offer can only be availed by Nepalese citizens at the moment. And now the news from economic front. The share market has yet again broken records yesterday. On the first trading day of the week, a new record has been set so far in both the NEPSE index and the buying and selling amount. The market, which closed at 1,893.24 points last Thursday, has risen by 75.0 points to close at 1,968.27 points on Sunday. The sensitive index, which measures the trading activity of Class A companies, also rose by 18.76 points to close at 383.93 points. The transaction amount has also set a new record. A total of 259,445 shares of 200 companies worth rupees 9.22 billion have been bought and sold during the day. Investors have been increasing their investments as there has been more liquidity in the market than ever before. Declining interest rates in banks and financial institutions, better first quarter financial statements of companies and increased declaration of dividends by companies have attracted investors to the stock market. Among all group businesses, hotels, non-life insurance companies and manufacturing groups saw some drops in their share value. All other groups have seen significant growths. Investors are more attracted to the banking group on Sunday. We'll be taking a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international and sports news. Welcome back, and now the international news. At least 110 civilians have died and several others were injured after an assault against farmers of northeastern Nigeria. Describing the killings as gruesome, UN said this has been the most violent direct assault against Nigerian civilians this year. According to Al Jazeera, the killings took place in the early afternoon of Saturday in the village of Koshobe and other rural communities in the Jere local government area near Maiduguri, the capital of the conflict-hit Borno state. Edward Cologne, UN's humanitarian coordinator in Nigeria, released a statement yesterday stating armed men on motorcycles led a brutal attack on civilian men and women who were harvesting their fields. At least 110 civilians were ruthlessly killed and many others were wounded in this attack, Edward added. The UN coordinator also noted that several women might have been kidnapped. No terror group has yet claimed the responsibility for the attack, but Boko Haram and the Islamic State in the West Africa province have been notoriously launching deadly attacks in the same area in recent years, Al Jazeera added. Football fans across the world were shocked to hear about Argentine legend Diego Maradona's death on Wednesday. The Argentine prosecutors are now investigating the footballer's doctor for possible manslaughter, BBC reported. According to BBC, police in Buenos Aires have searched the house and private clinic of Dr. Leopoldo Lugui as they try to establish if there had been possible negligence in Maradona's treatment following surgery. Diego Maradona, 60, reportedly died of heart attack at his home where he was recovering post-surgery. Maradona had a successful operation on a brain blood clot earlier this month and had been due to be treated for alcohol dependency. Some 30 police officers raided 39-year-old Dr. Luigi's house on a Sunday morning, with another 20 going into his clinic in the capital, Buenos Aires, BBC added. Police have retrieved computers, mobile phones and medical notes, BBC quoted Argentine officials as saying. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Tottenham Hotspurs regained their grasp on the top of the Premier League table after settling for a 0-0 draw against London rivals Chelsea. Spurs, replaced at the top by Liverpool on Saturday, returned to the summit level on 21 points, with the Reds with a superior goal difference. Chelsea are 2 points behind in the third spot with 19 points. Both teams cancelled each other out in the first half, with Spurs keeper Hugo Lloris keeping out Chelsea attackers. Tottenham are now on the front foot with a win against City last week and a draw against the rivals, giving them 4 points from 6. In other matches, Arsenal lost to Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2-1 in a game that was overshadowed by a nasty head injury to visiting striker Raul Jimenez. The Gunners are currently in their worst start to their Premier League season since 1981, as they sit 14th in the table after 10 league games. Edinson Cavani came off the bench to inspire a stunning Manchester United comeback as they turned around a 2-goal deficit to secure a superb victory at Southampton. United were trailing at their break by 2-0 with goals from James Ward-Prowse and Bednarik. However, Bruno Fernandes led the charge for the Red Devils, whose new acquisition, Uruguayan striker Edinson Cavani, scored twice, with the final strike coming in the 93rd minute to secure all 3 points. The win takes United to 8th in the table with 16 points. Today, Leicester City will take on Fulham and West Ham United take on Aston Villa. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Chinese Defense Minister's visit deemed successful, highest level visit from the north after President's visit last year. Daily infection of coronavirus drops to 1,255. Active cases falls above 18,000. Flights to India set to reopen after cabinet decision. Civil Aviation Authority begins its preparation to follow air bubble protocol. Unrest in Nigeria upscales. At least 110 civilians killed in a dreadful mass murder. And London rivals Chelsea and Tottenham settle for a draw. Manchester United produces a dramatic win. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.